The sun rises, but it does not bring comfort. It arrives like a weapon, sharp, white, merciless, cutting across a land that already feels scorched beyond reason. The air shimmers as if the world is melting. The horizon trembles. Even the shadows look exhausted. This is not a desert. This is something older and far more hostile, a place where the earth seems unfinished, where the ground is stained with toxic colors, where the wind carries the smell of metal and fire, where the planet exposes its raw insides without shame. Here, in the far northeast of Africa, lies one of the most extreme environments on Earth, the Danakil Depression, a wound in the continent, a furnace at the bottom of the world. The land sinks below sea level, collapsing into a basin of heat and salt, and above it, the sky becomes a lid, trapping the temperature like a sealed oven. By midday, the heat is no longer just felt. It becomes visible. It bends the landscape. It blurs the distance. It turns reality into a mirage. The ground beneath is cracked and broken, like ancient pottery shattered by time. Every step sends up dust that feels too dry to be natural. The silence is thick, heavy, unnatural, until the wind moves and the land begins to whisper. But this is not the whisper of life. It is the whisper chemistry of poison, of the earth breathing. Danakil is one of the hottest inhabited places on the planet. Temperatures routinely climb beyond 45 degrees Celsius, and sometimes higher. In the summer months, the heat becomes relentless, day and night, without mercy. Even the darkness offers no escape. The air itself feels cooked. And yet, this place is alive. Not in the way forests are alive. Not in the way oceans are alive. But alive like a volcano is alive. Alive like a storm. Alive like a beast sleeping with one eye open. Because the Danakil Depression is not just a landscape. It is a battlefield where the planet is tearing itself apart. Here, 3 tectonic plates collide and pull away from one another. The African plate, the Arabian plate, and the Somali plate. Massive slabs of Earth's crust shift, grind, and split in slow violence. The ground cracks, the land sinks, and deep below, magma rises like blood. This is one of the only places on Earth where a new ocean is being born. But the birth is not gentle. It is brutal. It is volcanic. It is loud, even when no sound is heard. The Danakil Depression is a scar carved by geology, a place where the planet's internal forces are exposed, visible, undeniable. It is as if the Earth has peeled back its own skin and dared you to look inside. The colors of the first shock: yellow like sulfur, green like acid, white like bone salt, red like rusted iron, black like cooled lava. From above, the land looks painted by an insane artist. But up close, it becomes something far stranger. The ground is not soil. It is mineral crust, hardened deposits of salt and chemicals. It crunches underfoot. It flakes. It breaks. It looks like ice, but it burns. In some places, the surface bubbles softly, as if the land is simmering. In others, it hisses. And then, suddenly, the silence breaks. A low, gurgling sound rises from the ground, and the earth begins to boil. Pools of liquid shimmer in unnatural colors. Not blue, not clear, not inviting. They're opaque, thick, alien. Their edges are lined with sharp mineral formations, growing like crystal teeth. These are hydrothermal pools, heated by magma below, infused with volcanic gases, saturated with salts and acids. The water is not water anymore. It is chemistry. It is corrosion. It is death in liquid form. The air around these pools smells of rotten eggs, hydrogen sulfide, a gas that can kill in high concentrations. It burns the throat. It stings the eyes. The wind carries across the landscape like an invisible predator. And yet, the pools are beautiful. A beauty so surreal it feels wrong. The colors glow under the sun like melted neon. Yellow sulfur stains the ground. Green acid pools shimmer like toxic emerald. White salt crusts form delicate patterns like frozen waves. It is a paradox, a place of lethal chemistry that looks like paradise. The human mind struggles to accept it, because nothing about this should exist. And yet it does. As the sun climbs higher, the heat intensifies. The air grows heavier, thicker, as if the atmosphere is pressing down. Sweat evaporates instantly. Breath feels hot. Every movement becomes labor. In this place, dehydration is not a risk. It is inevitable. The body becomes a fragile machine, losing water with every second. The lips crack. The skin tightens. The eyes dry. The heartbeat quickens. The mind begins to slow, dulled by heat exhaustion. And still, the land stretches on endlessly, flat, barren, shimmering under the sun like an ocean made of salt. Salt dominates everything here, because long ago, this basin was part of the sea. The Danakil Depression was once flooded by the Red Sea, before the earth shifted and sealed it away. Over time, the water evaporated under the merciless heat, leaving behind massive salt deposits, layer upon layer, built over thousands of years. Today, the salt lies thick across the ground, forming plains so bright they reflect sunlight like snowfields. But this is not cold snow. This is burning salt, and it cuts like glass. When the wind blows, salt dust rises into the air, swirling in pale storms that coat everything. It gets into lungs, into eyes, into clothing. It settles on skin like a second layer. It makes the land look frozen, even as it roasts. And in the distance, something rises from flatness, dark shapes against the bright ground. Volcanoes, not towering mountain volcanoes like those in postcards, but low, broad, menacing scars in the earth. And among them, one of the strangest volcanic systems on the planet waits in silence. Surreal. Its name means smoking mountain, and it is one of the few places on Earth where lava does not merely erupt. It lives. The approach to Surreal feels like walking into another world. The ground turns black, hardened into endless lava fields. Jagged rock spreads like frozen waves. The texture is sharp, broken, brittle. Each step is careful. One mistake could mean shattered bone. The landscape is dead, but not ancient. This is fresh volcanic rock. New land. Earth recently born from fire. The air grows warmer as you climb, even though you are already in one of the hottest places on the planet. And then the smell changes. The scent of sulfur thickens. The wind becomes strange, shifting in sudden gusts as if the volcano is exhaling. The sky above is pale and empty, but the ground beneath begins to hum with invisible energy. And then the crater opens before you, a vast pit carved into mountain, descending into darkness. But the darkness is not empty. It glows. Deep inside, an orange light flickers like a living heart. And then you see it, a lake of molten lava. Not a river, not an eruption. A lake, a permanent pool of liquid rock, boiling at over 1,000 degrees Celsius. It churns slowly, thick and heavy, like a soup of fire. The surface breaks into glowing plates of crust that crack apart and sink, replaced by new magma rising from below. The lava breathes. It heaves. It pulses. And every few seconds, bubbles rise and burst with deep, wet sound like the planet's stomach boiling. This is one of the rarest sights on Earth. Only a handful of volcanoes contain persistent lava lakes. Most volcanoes erupt and then sleep, but Surreal stays awake. It is constantly fed by magma rising from the mantle, drawn upward by the tearing of tectonic plates. This is the Earth's bloodstream exposed. And standing here, you feel small in a way that has nothing to do with height or distance. It is a feeling of being near something that does not care if you exist. The heat radiating from the crater is overwhelming. It blasts upward like an open furnace. Your skin tingles. Your face tightens. The air is so hot it feels thick, as if you could scoop it with your hands. The volcano's glow reflects off the rocks, turning everything into a hellish orange twilight, even in the middle of night. And if you stay long enough, you begin to hear it. A deep rumble far below. Not an explosion. Not a roar.